Speaking of corporate wokeism, years from now, I believe business schools will be studying how Anheuser-Busch and its Bud Light brand somehow managed to shoot itself in the foot by embracing the transgender agenda. But the decisions made at the highest level have a real impact on the daily lives of hardworking employees. So we have that giant beer corporation making decisions at the corporate level that not only cratered their own sales, but now they are turning around and firing everyday workers for corporate mistakes. Well, joining me now to discuss this is Michael Seifert. He's the CEO of Public Square, a nationwide curated digital network of local and national freedom-loving businesses. Michael, thank you so much for joining us this evening on Washington Watch. It's an honor to have you.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, listen, Bud Light, everybody's known of Bud Light for years and years and years. The vice president there makes a decision, and thousands of employees at the local level suffer. Tell us about what's going on there.
Well, unfortunately, they're facing the harsh and very real consequences of taking a bad bet on ESG and DEI wokeism. And we throw around this phrase, go woke, go broke. It is real. There are actual consequences to your bottom line, to your employees, to your distributors, to lots of people caught in the middle when your company decides to act more like a progressive political association and organization rather than a business that is focused on simply providing quality to your customers and shareholders. So Bud Light decided to, obviously a few months ago, initiate a campaign where they put that transgender person, Dylan Mulvaney, who's a young man dressed as a young woman, on their beer can. And in the process, their consumer base felt like, guys, what the heck happened? Since when have you become this organization that's going to lecture us about gender ideology? I just want to drink your beer. You used to be kind of the funny company that had the ads with the Clydesdales, and you've completely changed. And then when the VP of marketing came out and actually said that their brand was fratty and outdated, and it was her mandate to change the brand, consumers said enough is enough. They initiated the Bud Light boycott, and Bud Light now has dropped over $20 billion in their value. Their sales have plummeted 25% from last year. And they yesterday had to announce that they laid off over 350 workers. By the way, the CEO is still highly paid, in a very cushy job, has not apologized, and faces no consequences for his actions. So pretty disappointing over at Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, go figure that the top echelon somehow does not take responsibility for their own actions. All right, so we have men and women that have been fired because of corporate decisions to embrace this woke LGBT agenda. But here you come along, and this is what is so amazing. You are working to help them. You're trying to provide an avenue for these individuals. So share some of the things that you're doing, how you got in, how this idea even came about.
Well, after the news broke about the over 350 employees that were let go from Bud Light, which, by the way, I think that that's just the beginning from what I hear, we felt really inspired to try to help those that had been stuck in all of this crossfire, that got to make zero decisions as it related to the company's marketing that would have helped them pursue more common sense instead of the route that they went. And they were unfortunately the ones that were facing the brunt of that poor marketing decision and now are out of work. We wanted to help them. So what we decided to do is we wrote an open letter. Myself authored it along with the assistance of a great friend of mine who's running a great business called Red Balloon, which is essentially a non-woke jobs marketplace while we are a non-woke commerce marketplace. And we teamed together to say that for any of those employees that were let go as a result of this bad decision, send us your resumes to jobs@publicsq.com, and we would love to distribute those resumes to our network of well over 55,000 small businesses that love the country, the Constitution, and the values that it protects. And let's see if we can get you hired. That ad.
And these are non-woke companies, correct?
They are. That's exactly right. These are Non-woke companies, they believe in the tenets of liberty. They believe in more traditional values, a love for life, family, and freedom. In fact, on Public Square, if you go to publicsq.com, you'll see our 5 core values. Any of the over 55,000 businesses that have signed up with us have agreed to respect those values. They've been vetted in alignment with those values. So we got a bunch of resumes yesterday because that open letter has now already in 24 hours been viewed over 2.5 million times on Twitter. We've received quite a few resumes from terminated former employees at Bud Light. And I actually got on the phone with one of them yesterday and I asked about her experience. And she said, I just feel heartbroken that the brand that I've dedicated years of my life to would decide to forego their responsibility of providing a quality product and would instead embrace these policies that hurt us the most. And we're excited to be getting to work to get her a job.